Yes.
Easy going right there. Looking at him. One more to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Online Racing League ORL for the second round of our social races here tonight. We are here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix at the Jeddah Corniche circuit. My name is Joshua Davis, and alongside me tonight, of course, is Joanna Brito. Joanna, how you doing?
Hi Joshua, hi everyone at home. Welcome to one of the newest tracks in Formula One, one that we've been racing for the second year in a row, and of course the second game in a row. Our second social race of this game as well in Online Racing League, so very excited to see what our drivers will bring us. Some of them were here last week, some are racing here for the first time ever, so let's see what this race will bring us, but I'm sure it will be quite close.
Absolutely. So we are just going to get into qualifying right now. It has just started. I do apologise that we are a little bit late as Christoph Seller sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix and of the qualifying session, and the only lap so far until Koenzeo Poda into a 27.6 as well, just a little bit slower. Jan Haladej goes quicker than Seller to a 27.433. Kerry G is back as well with a 28.954. Svan Pukki, the winner from last week, with a 27.2, already 2 tenths quicker, almost 2.5 tenths quicker than Jan Haladej there. So already the times flying away off the board. I believe that's Newsrex in the Aston Martin even. That's just crossed the line, knowing well from his YouTube main reactions of the real FF1 Grand Prix on the game. Brilliant stuff that he does over there. He sits into a 29.893, the slowest so far, with Zetmir in the squares in the Alpine on a 29.635 so far. That's all done so far for now. And that's all the time so far, but it is this Vampuki setting the time sheets once again alive with that 27.2, Joanna.
Yeah, Easton putting his intentions quite clear from the start. Of course, we have just a note that we have Zetmir racing again as square. So if you don't know who is at the moment in P11 is Zetmir, the driving again for Alpine. But so for some reason the game doesn't show his name. So here is the short note. While we have a few drivers on their flying laps, like Jeremy in the Red Bull, and I think it's Arus in the Ferrari as well, but still both at the beginning of their laps.
Absolutely. So let's ride on board with both of them. So Aru coming in, obviously with the new Ferrari, the updated Ferrari from last week's Italian Grand Prix with a nice little yellow on the back of the wing, celebrating 75 years, I think, of the Ferrari team. So congratulations to then, obviously the longest standing constructor in Formula One to date, almost completed absolutely almost every F1 race since 1950. So a very big milestone in their career there. We'll stay on board with the Ferrari man of Oro as he makes his way through in towards Sector 2. This is probably one of my favourite to drive personally. Definitely a very good one to commentate also around here. Very, very fast speed corners. Not many low speed at all. This is probably one of the slowest you're going to enter onto the bridge section, sort of the hotel section if you like, with a flick of the list on the left and on towards the right. Be careful not to hit those curves. It will spit you out as well. As you come towards the final corner, braking very, very hard on towards the 50. A little bit too wide though for the Ferrari man, getting on towards the concrete on the right hand side. DRS wide open. He's going to keep his lap. Nevertheless, it's probably not going to be a very quick one. 12th place time of a 1:29.264. So about 4 cents quicker than Zetmir there, but that last corner has definitely costed him a lot.
Yeah, we have Emilio Sack closing his first attempt as well, a bit of a slow time. Do we have the sound? The game sound?
I've just realised that the sound does not appear to be working for some reason. I'll just quickly...
That's one of the ways to take care of the bug, the sound bug that we had last week, I guess.
That's definitely one way. Let's quickly try and change that very, very quickly. I think that might
Let's do it quickly while our drivers are starting to prepare for their second attempt. Lots of drivers on.
Absolutely. So, run on board with the man in the Mercedes so far, carrying all the speed in towards Sector 1 he comes, up towards the detection zone, about a 1:32.144. It is purple so far, so Sector 1 fairly clean. He makes his way over the hoop in the Mercedes car. A nice silver. It's gone back to the silver, of course, for this game and this season from their traditional black of 2021 and 2020, flying towards Sector 2, which is practically flat out, in towards the DRS zone of Sector 2, now carrying all the speed if he can. He might close up to the Alpine, actually, a 1:0.467, and I tell you what, Malamea is absolutely on a charge here, Joanna.
Closing up his first attempt, getting out of the last corner of this circuit. Quite a few corners around here, and he goes 6th on what is actually his first full attempt.
Absolutely. So apologies once again about the audio. I'm not sure why it's not deciding to work this time around. Let's hope this isn't a permanent issue. Hang on a second. Right, let's have a look at this very quickly. I do apologise. I think Christoph Seller's just actually gone quickest of them all. 26.954 for the Hungarian man. Obviously competed in the F1 Esports Challengers Series last season. Did very, very well. Got into the top 6. Unfortunately, did not get a seat in the Pro Series, but got very, very close to it. Obviously, got that win in Imola as well. A very, very good run he had all through the season. Probably did deserve definitely did deserve a seat in my opinion, but hopefully next time around he definitely will. Try and see what the problem with this is. I'm not 100% sure why it doesn't seem to be working, but I am trying my very best to try and get it sorted out for everyone. Give me
and was causing quite a few yellow flags at the end of the first sector, but he's back on the correct way and no longer a threat to anyone trying to put a lap on the score. In the meantime, we had, I think it's Alejo, jumping up to P5, while we had, I think it was Istvan Puki and Konzalpo, they're both invalidating their second attempt.
absolutely. So Christoph Selleck coming back in towards the pit lane. Jan Hardage also will probably be coming back as well. He's done a 27.144. Istvan Puki only 44 thousandths off that in P3. Tony Roche 2 tenths off his off the top three, with Aleo doing well once again in that P5 spot with 27.5. Konzeo Poda again in P6, 27.679. Very, very close between the top five all the way down to about P10, P9, really, with that one.
Let me help you, Joshua. Just call him Conch. It's a bit of a tricky tricky name to say in English. Just call him Conch. You will be fine with it.
Okay, that's
Easier than say that mouthful.
And that's good. My game has decided to crash on me, so that's absolutely fantastic. I do apologise, everyone. This is not going well at all. Give me 2 seconds, everyone. Hopefully, Joanna, if you want to just fill me in for the time being, that'd be perfect.
Okay. I don't think I can send you an invitation though, unfortunately. But yeah, so far we have quite a few drivers starting on their attempts. Oru is, I think they're starting a new laps. Okay, it says 0 laps, but the way they're approaching the lap seems like they're still going for it. And yeah, both him and Conj were trying to launch a lap. In the meantime, Racecade jumping up to P7, the Alpha Tauri driver that was here last week, and now jumping into that group of drivers that you said were quite close on the board. Let's see if he can improve on the last attempt. There's only 5 and a few minutes to go. 5 minutes and a few seconds, sorry, to go. So less space for mistakes in this qualifying session. We have Tommy Richer also starting a hot lap. And I think, yeah, it was Cons up there also making a mistake again out of turn 13. The Williams driver having a bit of a hard time at the moment after his first very good lap, but right now it's been proving to be a bit difficult to improve on his previous attempt. Milan Meyer, who is right behind Cons in the score, also doing. I'm not sure if anything changed on the game, but it seems like most of our drivers are doing 2 out laps before they're going for a flying lap. Not sure if that's on purpose or just another glitcher from our F122. But yeah, he's starting a lap. So is Christoph Zelle and Pezzo. Pezzo navigating through a few yellow flags, getting out of the last corner. But then again, it says he's not on an outlap, but he is on an outlap. So apologies to everyone. Besides Joshua crashing, I have the game trolling me. So Christoph Zeller, the P1, the provisional pole position man. Oh, but he's, I think it was Burgen Duman, out of turn 13, a bit in the way of the Haas driver. He's losing a bit of time out of the first sector to his previous lap, 10th up on his time. Let's see if he manages to improve during the second and third sectors of this lap. Pezzo invalidating again, so it's been a bit tricky to find who is on a hot lap. Milan Meyer returning to the box after his last attempt, now sitting in P9, the Mercedes driver. And absolutely no one on a fast lap except for Christoph Zelle, who aborts it and comes into the pits. Joshua, are you there?
Yeah, still here. I'm just trying to see why it's not working. Definitely, that's the main thing is that the screen is working, but just don't know why the sound is. If so, we might just have to play without any sound right now. I do apologise, but I think the main thing is that we do have at least a screen to work with, which is obviously going to be the main thing. Do apologise that there is no game audio. We'll try and fix that for next week if we do have another social race. I do apologise, but the main thing is we do have some racing going on that you can spectate over on our YouTube channel so far. We're back in the game, thankfully. So we've got about 2 minutes left to go in the session. Once again, do apologise for the sound audio that seems to be occurring. We're just going to have to fix that for next week. I don't know why it doesn't seem to be working, but I'm not going to mess around without any action so far. But for now, it is Christoph Zelle topping the timing sheets in the Haas for 26.954 for him, with Jan Haladej in P2 on that 27.144. Istvan Pukki in P3. Tony Roche in P4 in the top 5, with Jeremy in P5 on that 27.529. Everyone on an outlap so far, apart from Jan Haladej and Emiliano Sanchez as well. So they've decided to stay in for a little while longer. Not sure if they will decide to do another lap or not. We're right on boards with Kerry G in the Alfa Romeo as he makes his way along the back straight of Sector 2. Very winding and tight corners of a right and a left in towards a flick of the left and the right once again. Getting very, very tight towards the barriers. You have to be on these street circuits to maximise the speed. You're going to get in towards the corners. You make your way in towards the Sector 1, Sector 2 detection zone of 1 minute 0.651. Couldn't quite see if he was up or not on his time. DRS is wide open for Sector 3, fully flat out. And so you get towards the final corner now of turn number 27, I think it is. A few corners in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix circuit. Right on the final corner comes the Alfa Romeo, a little bit untidy, and you can see him swerving all the way there. I think he is going to abandon this one. Across the line, does go quicker to a P13 lap time of 28.357, but I do not think he'll be happy with that one. Tony Roche and Jeremy, the two Red Bulls, are out in tandem on their lap so far. Jeremy is about a tenth and a half up so far, so he should be right now beating his teammate Tony Roche into Sector 1 on so far as he makes his way through Sector 2. It's going to be tight all the way through. He'll be the first man to cross the line after the checker flag falls right now. Checker flag has now flying in the air to signal the end of qualifying. To make a way into Sector 2, still staying on board with Jeremy now in towards Sector 2. 1 minute 20, about a tenth, just about a tenth and a quarter up. Apparently it's oh no, that's Aleo on an outlap. Sorry, I don't think he was made it in time, so he's gonna have to settle for P6 as being the highest. He's only 1,000th quicker than Race K in P7. Will stay on board though with the Red Bull of Jeremy. Can he do anything special into the final couple of corners? He's had a very, very good exit and a very good entry into the final corner. Can he pull anything special out the bag? He can finish in P4 so far. I believe Race K just coming towards the final corner. No, it is not. It's going to be IGP who just come in towards the pit lane. The other Haas of Jakob Rizetsu, I believe, is about to cross the line. The Haas development driver of the F1 Esports season goes up into P8 with a 27.616. The Mercedes, I believe, is that Fiedel blocking just behind. He's coming in towards the pit lane. The Ferrari of Istvan Pukki is that. It is Istvan Pukki, and he does it again. Pole position for Istvan Pukki. Christoph Zelle could not improve. He's on a 26.954, and he has just crossed the line. Right now, it is Istvan Pukki on pole position. Jan Haladej is in P3 right now, but he has invalidated his time, and that is everyone done and dusted? And is this Vampuki once again setting the times in qualifying and gets pole position by 0.5 of a second? Is this Vampuki on pole position alongside his FES teammate of Christoph Zeller in a 1-2?
Yes, and what a first race in online racing link for Cons up there. The Portuguese driver up in P4 with some very, very interesting names.
Absolutely. So we'll get the time, the screens up as soon as we can get ready in towards the race. Here we go then. It is Vampuki on pole position in the Ferrari by 58 thousandths of a second to Christoph Zeller in P2. Jan Haladej in P3 with Cones in P4. Jeremy is 5th with Tony Roche in 6th. Alea is 7th with Race K in P8. Jakob Rosetsu is 9th with Milamere in P10. Stefano Ramazaro in P11 with Orox in 12th. Kerry G is 13th with Fido Blockin in 14th. 15th goes to the Alpine with a 29.013. Newsrex, Necru, is in P16 with Milo Such is 17th. IGPGB in 18th. And the 2, 19 and 20th could not quite see who it was. But an absolutely incredible end to qualifying there. Very, very tight on the seats. And it's this Vampuki who gets the job done once again.
Istvan Puk starting from pole position. He already won last week. Looks quite in a good position for tonight. Let's see what Christoph Zeller can do off the grid in the first few laps. And of course, Pezzo already looking to seize anything that might happen between those two in a bit of a Hamilton Verstappen style that might happen.
Absolutely so. Well, let's hope for a little bit more cleaner driving than the 2021 race. We are ready to go straight away, actually, in towards the race. Don't think there will be a formation lap to play as we get ready to go. 5 seconds left of the timer, and we'll be getting ready to go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Place your bets. Here we go then. We are on towards the grid. We have 1 light, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5 red lights. Is this Vampuki on the left with Christoph Zeller on the right, and we're ready to go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's a brilliant start there from Christoph Zeller, already leading into turn 1 almost side by side with Istvan Pukki as he makes his way up into turn 2. It's almost 3 wide with Jan Hardesz trying to join the fun, but it is Istvan Pukki side by side still with Christoph Zeller. Zeller does not go on to bring this up, and he gets the job done. It's Christoph Zeller into the lead off the start. A beautiful start there for the Haas man. It's Timo Zelenovic who's had a crash so far, and the safety car is out after the first lap. He's had an incident with Stefano Rosano, I believe. He has lost his front wing. Timo Zelenovic heads to the showers early. It's Christoph Zeller, though, who leads with Istvan Pukki in P2, with Jan Haldej P3, Cones is 4th, Jeremy is P5, and there goes Zeller. Zeller has lost another safety car. I do not believe it. Under the safety car, Christoph Zeller loses it under the spoon corner, and Christoph Zeller, who's had a brilliant start, is out to this Grand Prix as well.
Not what we were expecting for sure. What an... I'm out of words, really. What an unbelievable start of the race. A bit of an unlucky start as well for both Alpines, with Stefano Ramazzo and Zetmir both being involved in incidents and losing quite a few positions. Who also lost quite a few positions was Racegate, dropping down to P12, losing 4 positions. The rest of the grid, unfortunately, with the incidents with Zelenkovic and Christoph all winning some positions, except for Istvan Pukki, who started on P1 and is still P1.
Absolutely so. They had a brilliant tussle, Istvan Pukki and Christoph Zeller in towards turn 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then Zeller having, a crash just at the start of the safety car. Net Cruz is a 5-second penalty to him for speeding under the safety car. He is pitted alongside Race K. That might be for damage, I believe. No, it is not. It's actually a scheduled pit stop, so he's going on to the hards. 24 laps on the hards around Saudi Arabia, so he's going to try and go all the way here. So that is a scheduled pit stop for the Aston Martin. Race K does the same. Stefano Ramazio is into the pit lane on towards the medium compound tyres. That was a non-scheduled pit stop. He had a little bit of damage from the crash earlier, but Istvan Pukki, however, is granted the lead. Obviously, had a a pretty decent a pretty decent battle with Sella until he did unfortunately crash out on his own. But he's been granted a lead. He's got his pole position back. Jan Haladej is promoted P2 as well. Cones is into P3. So the change has definitely split it a little bit from everyone else. No one's pitted in apart from the bottom three of Necruz, Race K, and Stefano Rosano as well. They're both onto the mediums, Race K and the Alpine, alongside Necruz, who does have a 5-second penalty added to his name on towards the hard compound tyres. But no one electing to start on the soft compound tyres. Probably the wisest thing to do. They're not great around this game anymore, really. They do give you the pace for about maybe 3, 4, 5 laps, and then they just immediately go off. So a lot of these guys are looking to go very, very long to this race, maybe even towards 17, 18, 19 lap territory, and then going straight onto the softs.
Well, let's see if they go for a soft or a more conservative strategy. The truth is, that penalty from Necruz makes me think if the bug from last year is not solved yet. Last year, if you just touch the line on the inside going into the pit lane, because it goes on an S shape, if you touch the line, it would be enough for it to give you a 5-second, because it would calculate the pit entrance in the wrong spot. So let's hope not many of our drivers get caught up by that. Let's call it a bug, because it was last week and last season in the last game, and I think it might be the same thing around here at the moment. Unfortunately for the Aston Martin driver, Race Keep going for a second stop, deciding to go for hards, so maybe trying to go till the end on this compound.
Absolutely. So I do think that the glitch, unfortunately, is still in the game. I think last time I've commentated and driven over the circuit, I have had that 5-second penalty come up in the pit lane, so that might be for that. Unfortunately, it is annoying when it happens. Obviously, it is not intentional. Obviously, you want to try and cut the corner to try and get an optimal position. Obviously, it just takes too much out of the cover, or too much time to go fully across into the corner. So obviously that it's completely legal in real life, but then the game decides to slap me on the wrist for it. It does get annoying, but Necruz just has to get his head down. He's currently in P16. He's on fresh hard compound tyres. He can go to the end if he does want to. So he's got the benefit there if he does want to go to the end. But apart from everyone else, they will have to go to the end. I don't know if Stefano did go onto the mediums, if he was already on the mediums, or if he did start on the hards. I'm not 100% sure if he can go again. Definitely Race K can go again as well. Christoph Seller does leave the session, unfortunately. Just had a terrible time there. Quite an embarrassing moment for the F1 Esports Challenger driver of last season. But he's going to have to come back with a little bit more vengeance. He had a brilliant start off the line compared to Istvan Pukki. The safety car, however, though, is in this lap. We're going to focus back towards the race, which will be getting underway on lap 4, right on board with Jan Haladej to see when Istvan Pukki will decide to make the jump off the lights. He controls the field as Jan Haladej has actually had a little bit of a collision with the wall there. I'm not sure if there is any damage there. I'm not sure what is happening with the game. I think a few little bugs and glitches that are happening on my end. Hopefully everything is okay. We'll stay on board though with the Aston Martin. As we say that, Istvan Pukki having a little bit of a slip up once again, and has gotten away with it a little bit. I'm not sure what on earth is happening with the slipping and sliding. And there's a massive crash going on here. Absolutely everyone, we're getting blocked up. The Red Bull goes in as, oh my goodness me, what on earth is going on to the start of this Grand Prix? We're getting underway once again. For almost everyone coming in towards the pit lane. The Red Bull diving it down the inside there. Jeremy having a look, Max Verstappen style, on the Aston Martin. A huge crash everywhere going on. What on earth is going on here? Milamir spun round. The Stefano spun round as well. And this has been quite an interesting restart. Stefano retires from the Grand Prix. Istvan Pukki does lead away. Jan Haladej is still in P2. Cones is in P3 with Alejo in P4. But a huge incident off the start. We run on board with Oryx now, trying to have a look down the inside of Jeremy in the Red Bull. Does he get it done? He should do on the low ground as they go side by side up towards the split in towards sector 2, but it is going to be the Red Bull who does prevail, goes off the track however, and will be a switchback move for ORL there in towards the last far right-hander side by side. A beautiful helicopter shot there, and it is ORL who gets the place job done. Up to P5 he goes. The Red Bull has been dethroned. Is Fiddle blocking just behind him in P7, but a huge gap now from Aleo all the way from about cones down to everyone else. 1.4, 1.5 seconds now is the gap, but a fairly messy start to this one as ORL gets the job done on Aleo as well. Up to P4 he goes. He loses 2 positions as well, but a very scrappy start to that race under the safety car.
Alejo obviously has to come into the pits on that restart when Istvan Pukki lost a bit to the rear. He just tried to go full throttle before the cars ahead of him, and of course there was a collision, there was damage, and the Alfa Romeo driver has to stop. Then of course the dive from Jeremy making Jan Holiday losing a bit of contact with Istvan Pukki, but fortunately for the Aston Martin driver, he was able to get back into the RS range of the Ferrari ahead of him, with Cons a bit in no man's land in P3. O'Rourke's had a bit of a look at the beginning, but now seems to be dropping. Let's see if he can make the best out of those medium compound tires. Everyone around him down to P8 on the hard tires. So let's see if he manages to close a bit of this gap before it is the time for him to switch into the hard compound tires. Nick Cruz, who was on P17, I believe, with his penalty, or P16, is up into P8 with all the incidents that happened. So good effort from the second Aston Martin driver.
Absolutely. So you do get that little bit of flicker of light when you see yellow flags in front. You're going to think, oh, that's a new free position for him. And Nick Cruz has definitely benefited from that massively, up into P8 from P16 from the first safety car. And that is absolutely fantastic. Race K, however, just get past Emilio Sanchez. Still a little bit of a battle going on there. Cones gets fast up at the Grand Prix, but it is Race K who does get the job done. Milan Mayer, however, will be having a look again on the Williams drivers side by side. They go. DRS is now enabled this lap with Jakob Rosetsu just waiting in the wings. Milan Mayer is going to try and have a look down the inside, which turns to the outside, gets the job done, and there goes Jakob Rosetsu as well. Really racy around the outside, cannot get the job done though, cannot follow through, and he's going to have to get stuck behind that Williams for a few corners more into P12. He sets that, but he's going to have to get through pretty sharpishly because the Williams in front is definitely holding him up quite a bit. As we come towards the hill now, in towards the spoon corner, Jakob, does he want to get the job done this time around? He's going to have to think about the race. Yellow flags behind. That's Bergam, who's just spun round. Bergam Durman in the McLaren does spin round. We go side by side with Jakob Rosetsu and Emiliano Sanchez side by side. Once again, a flick towards the right, one to the inside, which turns to the inside. Rosetsu off the track. Does he have to give that position back or not? Not 100% sure, but Jakob Rosetsu does find himself up into P11. Sanchez will definitely be thinking, I want that position back. I'm going to have to give it back. He dives it down the inside, not going to work. And Rosetsu does come back. Technically did give up the position for a little bit, but did he have to give it back earlier? I'm not quite sure.
If it was because the game told him to give it back, it was very interesting tactics giving back the position. It seems like it's a bit of a Jeddah trend. In the meantime, Bergen retiring from the race, and is it a safety car or or a VSC?
That is a full safety car. I think I can just see from the little signs there. So there's another safety car after lap 7. Bergen crashing in towards the wall, I believe. Not sure where. We'll have a look at Zetman now to see if we can see the spotted car anywhere. I'm not quite sure where he has crashed. And that is not quite sure.
The McLaren crashed before the last DRS zone. Okay. And of course the safety car is still in the pits, so he's going. The Istvan Pukki had already passed the pit lane, so he'll be waiting for him at the exit next time the Ferrari driver goes by. Joshua, do you know if the mediums do it from here till the end?
lap 7 of 25. So we've got about 18 laps of running left to go. Everyone on the medium so far is either 6 laps old, 5 laps old. It would be a push if you went onto the pits and went onto the mediums now. Then you're going to have to, as GP gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So big no-no. You don't want to be doing that. But you can definitely go for the mediums here if you do go onto the fresh ones. So I'm thinking, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, this one Pookie, Jan Haladej and Combs come into the pit lane now for the medium compound tyres. We're running aboard with the Ferrari now. He jokes into the pit lane there.
But then phase out.
And then phase out again. So Jan phases out and then comes back in, I think, actually. He's into the pit lane now. Jan Haladej decides to stay on. So does Jeremy as well. Onto the mediums he comes as well. Combs comes in with him onto the mediums also. So they've decided to pull the trigger on towards the medium compound tyres. Jan has decided to stay out then. So has Jeremy. So has Kerry. Newsrex does not have to pit again. Netcrew, sorry, I keep getting his ring. I do apologise. Race K comes in as well. All of those guys do not have to pit again, I do believe, apart from Jan Haladej and Jeremy as well, alongside Kerry G as well. They will have to pit again. So that might definitely give them a disadvantage in the mean run. And if they are waiting for another safety car, then they're going to have to right now, or they're going to have to bolt away quite quickly. If they want to get the job done and try and get the gap, they're going to have to push for at least a good few seconds and a lap to try and get away. So they're going to have to hope for another safety car really in this race. And obviously Saudi Arabia, pretty prone to safety cars. Obviously very, very tight circuit in as a crash prone as we have just seen so far. 16 runners now left in this session. We've lost Bergen, Derman, Stefano Ramazano, Christoph Zeller and Timo Zelenovic all on, Zeller and Zelenovic on lap 1 with Stefano Ramzio. Sorry, I do apologise about the pronunciation. I'm still getting used to it. It's Ramazio. I do apologise. I will get it right eventually. I do apologise. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting how that is going to play out on the tyres. Jan Haladej currently leading this Grand Prix. The top 3 still need to pit. Everyone else is fine to the end if they do wish to continue to the end. But it's going to be interesting how it's all going to play out with the strategies, definitely.
Yeah, let's see how fast Istvan Pukki can get, or if he doesn't, or if he isn't able to get past Race K and all those 5 drivers that haven't yet stopped. He will be on the better tire, but let's see if he manages to pass them quickly, how quickly, and if the 2 drivers behind him, so Conch and Emilio, both Williams behind the Ferrari, are able to follow him through, or if they're going to lose time to the net race leader, or at least the race leader before the safety car, with these cars ahead of them. Let's see what Istvan Pukki can make out of this situation, if he manages to put a car between him and Conch on the most curvy part of the circuit. That might be just key for him to go away and be able to have a more comfortable race. I think this was a bit of a bad call from Jan Haladej. I'm not sure if he just wanted to do something different to try to beat Istvan Pukki, or if he wasn't just comfortable going for the medium compound so early in the race.
Absolutely. So we're going to have to find out in a couple of moments. I think the safety car either will be in next lap or 2 laps later. We're going to have a look at Zetman now. He's currently 22 seconds behind the field. If we just have a look at the track map quickly just to see where he is compared to everyone else, I think he will just make it in time. So we will be getting underway this lap at the next lap. So we will start on lap 10. 15 laps we will get after the safety car. So there's still a lot to play around with. Jeremy, Jan Haladej and Kerry G definitely in a disadvantage, I do think, at the moment in time. Obviously have yet to stop. Everyone else has stopped behind them, so they're definitely in a massive disadvantage for now. So they're going to have to really hope that another safety car comes in their way, or they're going to have to bolt quite a bit. The safety car will come in this lap, as I did expect. So we're going to ride on board with the Red Bull of Jeremy in P2 so far, as we wait to see when Jan Haladej will go. Hopefully do get a cleaner start than we did last time around. We'll stay back on board then with Jan Haladesh. We can see the helicopter shot just in front of us now as we have a look at the display. We're going to ride through the final corner with Jan Haladesh. When is he going to decide to drop the bomb and go full hell? He's going to drop it now, and we get back racing once again here in Jeddah. It's going to be a very good getaway from Jan Haladesh. Has caught Jeremy sleeping there in the Red Bull and already clear by 0.5 of a second there. Race Gay already trying to get moves done on Netcruiser. Around the outside he goes, gets the job done. Up into P4 there goes the Alpha Tauri. A brilliant start there from him. Netcruiser is going to try it around the outside. The Scotsman, oh, there's a little bit of contact there. He has been pushed there by Istvan Pukki. There's a little bit of contact, and Netcruiser has been sent round to the back of the field. And as Istvan Pukki definitely did make contact, I don't think he was expecting him to break so early. I think there's been a carnage as well. Oryx is off the track. Field blocking. There's massive incidents there all over. There's a beautiful battle though that's happening right in front of us. Aleo, Tony Roche going side by side there, side by side all through the left. And here comes Field blocking, having a look down that inside. Not gonna happen this time around. He's gonna have to wait his turn a little bit more. Zetmir in the Alpine waiting through, and there goes Race K as well, who's facing the wrong way. It's all happened once again on the safety car restart. He's down into P14, made that P15 as well, missing a front wing, and there's more carnage to follow, but it's Jan Haladesh who bolts away by 1.8 seconds almost after this first lap.
Yeah, but notice that the two cars that had already stopped ahead of Istvan Pukki are now no longer ahead of him, so it's only the three cars that still have to stop mandatorily that are ahead of the Ferrari and the Williams as well. Emilio lost a bit of a position to Jacob on this first lap after the safety car came in. Let's see if Istvan Pukki can close the gap to Kerry G and even pass the Alfa Romeo driver. In the meantime, Oryx going into the pits, getting another 5-second penalty in this race. It seems like and he also softs. Let's see what he can make out of the softs while he changes wings as well. And I'm pretty sure that Reska, he's also changing wings, taking care of the damage. Let's see how fast can they get to the cars ahead of them, and if they will be in a position to fight for a better position or not.
Absolutely. Fiedel blocking, however, getting the job done almost on Tony Roche. Roche's not going to give this away without a fight, but it is Fiedel blocking who does get the job done in the Mercedes. Up to P10 he goes, and up towards the points he goes, and now Aleo is his next target in the Alfa Romeo. And there goes Istvan Pukki. Yeah, sorry there, P3 goes Istvan Pukki, gets the job done on Carry G, so those mediums are working a treat for the Ferrari driver, but only 6/10 up the road is Jeremy in the Red Bull, and then 2 seconds up the road is Jan Haladesh. He will get the DRS next time around on the next lap. So then here we go then. It is Jeremy Haladesh. Jeremy has got some pretty decent straight line speed on him, as you can see, already gaining about a second down down that back straight. Gets the job done. DRS is now available for the third time this race, as the pit window is open for the soft compound tyres. Aro went onto the soft compound tyres. I don't think they will make it that way, but we'll move over to the back for this P10 spot. There goes Emiliano. Satch there down the inside of Tony Roche. Roche, once again, not going to let this go without a fight. We're going to be battling all the way, and does get the job done there on Emiliano Satches. And it's Jeremy who gets another 3-second penalty. We'll fast forward to this battle for P2. Here comes Istvan Pukki. Does he try anything into the left? No, he doesn't. He's very happy to keep where he is so far at the moment. Up the hill they go in towards Sector 2. Then Race K and Oro having a little bit of a battle themselves for 15th and P16. Will stay on board though with Istvan Pukki so far. A little bit of a wobble on the entry there for Jeremy in the Red Bull. And here comes Istvan Pukki. He smells blood in the Ferrari. He gets the job done. And into P2 goes Istvan Pukki. And now 2.3 seconds up the road is Jan Haladesh, who has yet to stop. So it will be a free overtake if he does get close. Well, when Jan Haladesh gets close, and here we go then.
Sorry, Joshua, right behind them, Cons up there also passing Kerry G, not wanting the Ferrari driver to get away too fast, trying to stay, and he will be having DRS from Jeremy Gleaner. Can he catch up with Istvan Pukki. He already lost quite a bit of time with these past overtakes that I mentioned that they would have to make. I told that Istvan Pukki would have to use them to get away from the cars behind, and he's doing it marvelous. He's only 1 second away from Jan. Not sure if there was any mistake from the Aston Martin driver or not, but the gap is almost half of what it was.
Absolutely so. This is an incredible battle. However, though, for P8 so far is really brewing, and it is Fido Blockin who takes that P8 spot, forces Aleo out, and it's almost 3 wide. Going into the right-hander, Aleo trying to battle as hard as he can with Fido Blockin. It's not going to happen, and it is Blockin who gets the job done. Up into P8 he goes, and Tony Roche is really going to have to fight very, very hard, and already using a lot of his ERS. Look how quick he is in a straight line there. Gets the job done already through Aleo, and already about 2.5 tenths clear of the Alfa Romeo there. Gets the job done. Up into P9 he goes to Aleo, losing 2 positions there. Not good at all. But look at this for pace. Istvan Pukki already in DRS range of Jan Hardej. 5 tenths separate the two of them. Obviously, Istvan Pukki can be allowed to push. Obviously, he is on the fresher medium compound tyres, and Jan Hardej on older hards. So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. Cones gets the job done on Jeremy as well. We'll stay on board with this battle for the lead. Jan Hardej versus Istvan Pukki for the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Is Istvan Pukki with the DRS on the Aston Martin? Does he try anything into turn 1? He's going to think about it and think about it and think about it. But thinks about it a little bit too much, and he's going to have to bide his time. Maybe a little bit too far back. Jeremy does pull into the pit lane, so he's the first one out of himself and Jan Hardej to pull the trigger on towards probably the mediums, maybe the softs. It is the mediums going on for the Williams driver. But look at this, Istvan Pukki and Jan Hardej, just no way through so far for Istvan Pukki. Very, very few overtaking opportunities around this track, and he definitely knows it. So he's going to have to pick his spots very, very, very carefully.
We have quite an interesting fight for P7 with Feder, Tony Richet and Alejo quite close on track. Of course, for now is advantage Mercedes, but well, we have a yellow flag, and it was Jeremy, I think, out of the pits.
Yeah, Jeremy, I think, having a little bit of an issue, and he is going quite slowly there, so that might have been a spin on the Red Bull's part. Not what he needs at all. He's had a pretty decent Grand Prix so far about now, but we'll stay on board with Alejo and Tony Roche and Fido Blockin. Fido Blockin doing quite well so far this race, putting himself in P7. He's done his business, took his chances when he's needed to, and he's doing quite well so far in that P7. 6.4 seconds behind his teammate of Milan Meyer in P6. He's under pressure so far now from Tony Roche and Alejo in the Alfa Romeo. The Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo do have the DRS on each other, but Tony just a little bit too far behind to try anything going. Meanwhile, Istvan Pukki still not quite close enough as well. We'll stick to this battle for P7 one more time. Kerry G comes into the pit lane. Here comes Tony Roche on to the back straight of the Mercedes. Pulls left to the left-hand side very, very late. Almost contact between the two. Fido does defend very, very hard, which opens a gap. And there he goes into the wall. Fido blocking in towards the wall onto turn 1. I'm not sure if there was contact made or not. But that is Fido blocking. And I think there was a little bit of a tap there from Tony Roche. And that is a tap. Fido blocking has come off the worst, is missing his front wing. And with 10 laps to go, he was running so well. And now he's down into P12 and he's going to have to pit once again for a new front wing.
I was on board with Alejo trying to see if he managed to get the best of the fight of the 2 cars ahead of him. It seems like he was about to do it. When there was a contact from the Red Bull on the car ahead, and unfortunately that's the end of a 3-way battle. We now have a 2-way battle. Let's see, talking about 2-way battle, we have Istvan Pukki hanging to the rear of the Aston Martin, going side by side into the last corner. Not sure who will have the DRS at this point. It was quite close. Sometimes the game bugs and no one gets the DRS. And I think that's exactly what happened. Jan Hardej with the slipstream trying to get back at the Ferrari and gets back into P1 into the braking zone of turn 1.
Jan Hardej fighting like a lion so far in that Aston Martin machine, and has really putting his foot to the floor with this one, trying his best to defend as hard as he can from Istvan Pukki. A massively tough order to ask from the youngster, and obviously the experience and the quickness that Istvan Pukki has to offer there, and is currently not finding a way through into P1. Was probably thinking that it was going to be a fairly easy job to go through onto fresher mediums, on quicker mediums, and now it's kind of finding to be a hard ask so far for the Ferrari driver. But meanwhile, look who's back to play a little bit more as Cones in P3 in the Williams machine, and is currently doing quite a good job so far to try and keep up. He's into 7 cents, so he might have a three-way battle for the lead coming up very, very quickly. It could be Cones who could be winning this Grand Prix. It could be Istvan Pukki who wins this Grand Prix. It could be Jan Haladesh who wins this Grand Prix. It could be anyone who could win this Grand Prix so far. With only 9 laps to go in this Grand Prix, it's definitely going to be squeaky bum time for a lot of these guys coming up. We got another DRS straight for Istvan Pukki to play around with. He's closer, much closer this time as well. Jan Haladesh defends. He defends into the final corner. A little bit of a tap, I think, there out of the final corner. Pukki will get the DRS once again, does he? Yes, he does, I believe. Jeremy with another 3-second time penalty. Istvan Pukki, he has to get this job done. Does he pull to the left or towards the right? In fact, he's not quite close enough. He's tried it around the outside. It's not going to work. And once again, Jan Haladesh, this fence is absolutely second to none. The Minister of Defence around Saudi Arabia so far belongs to Jan Haladesh, and so far is keeping Istvan Pukki at bay, and is so far bringing Cones into this battle for the lead.
Yeah, what an interesting battle back in the grid. I was following the Negruz and Kerry G fight, with Kerry G opting out of the last corner, letting the Aston Martin driver go by to get the DRS, and then returning the position in the main straight using the aid of DRS. Strategies that are quite a part of this track, of course. In the meantime, we have Alejo always in the rear of Tony Richet, trying to get the best of any mistake that the Red Bull might do, but so far the Red Bull keeping it together. Of course, there was a bit of contact before with another car, but right now it seems like the Red Bull driver keeping it together. Let's see if he managed. He's quite far from Milan Maia, so I guess P6, unless there is a safety car, is the best these drivers will be able to achieve. And of course, Kerry G also joining this fight, so we might have a three-way battle quite soon yet again.
Absolutely. Jan Haladesh does decide to pull in towards the pits this time around, so he ends the battle that we did have, but Cones is coming into this battle. Jakub Rozetsu does pass him for P3. On towards the podium he goes, and Jan Haladesh onto the medium compound tyres, so does decide to take it a little bit more cautiously, not risking the soft compound tyres, so he should be coming out around P5, should beat Tony Richet out, and quite convincingly beats Tony Richet out, his Shazoo teammates, in P6. And out he comes into P5, 10 seconds back on Milan Maia, currently in P4. But already Istvan Pukki in clean air, dropping about a second almost now on Cones in the Williams yellow flags. And that's Jeremy in with a crash, I think. Is that a safety car? Yes, it is. And I'll tell you what now, this brings Jan Haladesh into a massive, massive good boost now. And I'll tell you what, will be absolutely licking his lips with that one. He's currently in P5 on fresh mediums. And this is going to be very, very interesting. These final 5-4 laps is going to be very, very tight indeed. But Istvan Pukki, Cones, Jakub Rozetsu, everyone will probably be trying to have a look on the soft compound tyres. We've lost Jeremy from this race, and it's going to be 4-5 laps of fully sprint racing around Saudi Arabia, and this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Istvan Pukki leads so far with Cones in P2, Jakub Rozetsu in P3, Milan Maia in P4, and Jan Haladesh looking the prettiest in P5.
Not really. If I were all of these drivers, I'd pit for soft tires. Cones almost stayed out, but coming after Istvan Pukki also into the pit lane. And Jan Haladesh, I think he must be fuming, because if the safety car came out one lap early, he'd be able to keep up to his lead.
It would be, but as he made a right call though with pitting a little bit early, he will gain the track position, I think. We'll have a look. It's going to be quite tight out of the pit lane, and actually I might have been quite wrong there. He's going to come out about P3. He is going to come out P3, so I think I might have been wrong there. Joanna, you might have corrected me once again there. Into P3 on the medium compounder tyres. They are fresh, but obviously those soft compound tyres should be much, much quicker until the end. It's going to be interesting how it plays out, but Jan Halladej's pace always very, very quick on his day. And let's see what will happen with this one as well. It's going to be very, very quick indeed. These next 5 laps are going to go away very, very quickly. Just to update you, at 8 o'clock in about 2 minutes time for anyone at the hour, we will have a 1 minute silence in the UK just to honour Queen Elizabeth II. Obviously her death, very, very sad indeed. So over in the UK where I am living right now, we will have a minute silence just to make sure, just in case if we do go silent. That is why we'll just be in 2 minutes time. We will let you know when the minute will start, but just so you're aware. So far, we've still got 2 minutes to spare under the safety car for the 3rd time this race. It is VanPookie leading. Everyone on soft compound tyres now, apart from GB and Jan Halladej on the mediums. Everyone else on the softs. There's Pookie leading, Cones in P2, Jan Halladej in P3, Jakob Frazzetsu is 4th, and Miller Mayer 5th. Kerry G is 6th, with Tony Roche in 7th. In P8 is the Alpine. Aleo is 9th, and Necruz in 10th. Emilio Sanchez is 11th, GB is 12th, Race K is 13th, Oro is 14th, and Theodore Blocking at the back of the field. Still in this one after his unfortunate crash, but he's still going strong in P15. Thank you all very much for allowing us to do our 1 minute. Thankfully, everything's okay. Now, we'll go back to the race right now. 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It is VanPookie leading away with Cones in P2. Jan Halladej is in P3 on the medium compound tyres. Jakob Frazzetsu is in P4. Milan Mayer is 5th with Kerry G in 6th. Tony Roche is 7th. That is your top 7 so far, and definitely in with a chance to win it so far. Safety car probably be underway this lap, and we will get about 4 laps to go of full flat out racing. VanPookie knows it. He's going to call into the pit lane, and safety car is in this lap. We'll be getting underway as soon as possible, and it's going to be a very, very interesting one to the end. Cones is in P2. We're right on board with the Williams right now. He has the best position to try and take away this win from VanPookie. Very easy to defend around this track. He's going to need a good boost off the lights if he can try and do anything into turn 1. We're right on board with the Williams right now, as we can see him warming up his tyres. This VanPookie, when is he going to bolt away? We go wide out of the final corner to get a good exit for the straight. It's VanPookie who leads us away. When's he going to go? When is he going to go? He's going to lead it now, and we're racing once again in Saudi Arabia. It's a fairly decent start, but Jan Halladej now all over the back of Cones, which is exactly not what he wanted. In towards turn 1, already loads of people warming up their brakes. You can see Tony Roche trying to warm up his tyres massively. There is a Leo trying it down the inside of the Alpine, which turns to the outside, gets the job done. Up into P8 he goes then. It's Netcruz trying to battle away as well for that final P9 spot. Side by side they go. Off the track goes Netcruise. Does he get the job done or not? Yes, he does. Up into P9 he goes and gets the job done. Istvan Pukki now leads about 7/10 away from the lead in P2 from Cones in P2, with Jan Halej in P3, Jakub Rozetsu all over the back of the Aston Martin in P4. It's been a fairly clean getaway so far, but it's Istvan Pukki who still leads off the lights.
Yeah, I've been following the fight ahead of the grid while we were commentating on some changes back there. It seems like Jakub not wanting to let Pezzo attack Connors all on his own. He wants that P3, he wants that podium. The Haas driver not wanting Jan Halliday to get away only with Connors, who thanks all this fight is Istvan Pukki already 1 second ahead, well, not quite 1 second, but close enough ahead of Connors up there. With the Aston Martin driver behind him not being quite able to fight him. It seemed like a bit of a risky braking there from Jan, quite close moving. Back in the grid we had Kerry and Tony Richet swapping positions, and of course fastest lap of the race for Istvan Pukki on this restart. The soft compound tires doing their job efficiently, and of course the Ferrari driver pushing all his might to try to open a gap behind him and be safe. In the meantime, we have a yellow flag, seems like it's one of the AlphaTauris. It's GB.
Yep, GB having a little bit of an issue there, I think. He's fallen to the back of the grid. Istvan Pukki with a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And I'll tell you what, that has really opened the door now for Cones to win this Grand Prix. Right now, he's going to be winning this one on the penalties. GB with a 3-second time penalty as well, added to his name. Oryx has had a spin as well. He's now at the back of the field. But Istvan Pukki is now got a 3-second time penalty. This win is now going to Cones in P2 unless Jan Halliday or Jakub Rozetsu can do anything about it. Here we go then. This is going to be very, very tight indeed towards the end of this Grand Prix. Istvan Pukki is going to have to push for the final 3 laps of his life if he wants to try and get this 3-second gap. Is currently Cones in P2, is currently trying to battle away with Jan Halliday, and yes, Jan now can just try and back off until the last lap and make sure that's that 3 seconds done, and he's going to have to fight a lot if he wants, in that last lap, if he wants to get anything done. We run aboard now with Jakub Rozetsu. The DRS is now enabled. The final 2 laps of this Grand Prix will be held under racing conditions. No more safety cars from here. Race K is battling away in P10. Make that P9. He goes then. It's almost 3 wide with Netcruise having a look down the inside as well. Not going to happen. It is Race K who gets the job done. It's the Alpine who gets forced off the track, and Netcruise gets the job done up into P10. He's up in towards the points. He's got the job done and now can try and battle away with Race K in P9. But Istvan Pukki 1.4 seconds quicker than Cones so far. That is the gap so far. Kerry G with a 3-second penalty as well. Jan Halliday in P3. Jakub Rozetsu in P4. Melan Mayer in P5. Tony Richet in P6. Right now, I think if we have a look on the leaderboard from where the leader is, we will be getting about P4. So Jakub Rozetsu will be P3, Jan Halliday will be P2, Cones will be P1, and Istvan Pukki will be all the way down in P4. So that's where it will finish if Istvan Pukki cannot get the gap. But right now, Cones is in a position where he can win this Grand Prix. 2 laps to go. This is going to be absolutely extraordinary.
Yeah, but beware of Jan. He has closed the gap on Conch. For sure he will attack, breaking a bit different lines between the 2 drivers. But out of the last corner, it seems that Jan is quite near the rear of Cons up there. He goes to the right and he passes the William driver. Jakub is far enough to not get an advantage out of this overtake. Let's see if Connors is able to keep up with the Aston Martin driver and grab that P1 out of him in the last lap. But so far, 2 laps to go, as you mentioned, with Cons up there quite close to the top. But Jan Halliday, with all his experience, grabbing it out of him, even with the harder compound of the 2. Let's see if Jakub can close the gap to Conch, or if the top 3, considering the pen from Istvan Pukki, will stay in this order. We also have Tony Richet quite close to Milan Mayer in P5 and P6. Quite a few penalties dropping out at the end of the race to a few of our drivers. but so far quite close, but no battles. I think, and Tony Richet loses control of the car. Oh my god, the Red Bull driver losing position to both Alfa Romeos, and I'm not quite sure if he has any wing left. Well, he has, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Richet losing a lot of positions. Lucky not to lose a position to Race K there. A little bit of touchy happening there. Race K around the outside says thank you very much. Gets the job done up into P7. We're going to go on towards the last lap of this Grand Prix. We're going to stay on board with the battle for P1 now. Is this Van Pookie who leads away? He's going to take the win on track, but it will not be the win that will be counted. Jakob Rosetsu now gets the job done on cones. He's losing a lot of positions. He could not hold his leads, and it is going to be Jakob Rosetsu who's finishing P2 so far. Oh, Willie, actually, let's have a look at how it's playing out so far. If we can have a look, leader. No, it's not. It's going to still be P3 for Jakob Rosetsu and P4 for Cones. So Cones right now has lost the podium. Jan Haladesh will be getting the win so far if he can hold position, and nothing drastic will happen in these last two sectors. Istvan Pukki is on his way to be winning on track. Jan Haladesh, though, is going to be winning on the penalty situation. Cones, however, we're going to stay on board with him throughout the remainder of this race until the last lap. Let's see what will happen then. In towards the right hand, a little bit of a touch on the wall, wrestling with the car already. A big hit onto the wall. Has he lost anything? I don't think so. I think he's okay on his wing front. Race K with a 3-second penalty handed to him. We're going to ride on boards with the Williams driver all the way through this lap. He's going to get a good launch out of the way, and there goes, oh my goodness me, there goes Rosetsu out of the final lap, and it's Rosetsu who's lost the podium in the final two corners. I do not believe it. I cannot believe it. We're going to stay on board though with Istvan Pukki. He's done all he can, almost at every lap. He wins on track, but it's Jan Haladesh who gets the job done and wins in Saudi Arabia. It's Cones who finishes P3 on the line. Milan Meyer is P4. Aleo is P5. Kariji is 6 with Race K. Tony Richet, in P7. Race K is P8. Jakob Rosetsu finishes 9th after all that. He'll be gutted, absolutely gutted with that one. A podium was on the cards, losing it out of the bridge section, and that was his race done and dusted. Does pick up points, but that is P9 down. Milan Meyer gets the driver of the day. Absolutely well done to him. But it is going to be Jan Haladesh who gets the job done and wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and wins the second round of the social races. And Joanna, how do you feel about that one?
Well, allow me to be a bit partial, if I may say so, but it's an absolute honor to see Cons on his debut on ORL in the podium. He didn't quite have the pace of Jan Haladesh in the end, or even the Haas of Jakob, but with that mistake he manages to end on the podium. Of course, another fantastic driver from Peso. He already showed it last week what a class act he is. And of course, Istvan Pukki, he didn't win it today because of the penalty, but once again, spot on the strategy, and unfortunately not quite spot on the track, but still a P2, a very nice result from the Ferrari driver.
Absolutely, so it does take away the fastest lap as well. 29.236 heads home to him. Jan Haladesh, though, is your winner with this Van Pookie in P2. Cons on his debut started 4th up into 3rd, gets the job done. Milan Meyer from 10th on the grid finishes P4 with Alejo 5th in this one. Kerry G is 6th with Tony Richet in P7. Race K is 8th with Jakob Rosetsu in 9th after all that. Stays where he qualified in that one. So unfortunate with that spin. Net Cruz gets P10 after finishing P16. Points on his debut as well. Very, very good to see. P11 goes to Oro with the Alpine in P12. Emiliano Sanchez finishes 13th from 17th. Theodore Blockin is 14th. GB is 15th in the last classification. And we lost Jeremy Bergahan, Stefano, Christoph Sella, and Timur Zelenovic from that one. But absolutely, what an absolutely incredible race. It had absolutely everything, must have had everything, and that is absolutely what league racing is all about, Joanna.
Yeah, and if we look back at everything that we said, I can't really say that I was right when I said that Peso made a huge mistake not pitting in that safety car, because he ended up being able to win the race. So kudos to the Czech driver. What a great recovery for him with the last safety car. And of course, even Milan, who started P10, ended up all the way in P4, and Kerry G starting P13, getting all the way up to P6. Let's not forget how far down the grid he was after that first safety car. So quite a few interesting races going on in the same race, if I may say so. And I'm really looking forward to the next race, because our drivers, those from last week and those from today, just showing what a fantastic performance they can put in our races.
Absolutely so. Well, we've just seen an absolutely fantastic race over at Saudi Arabia. Might join us next week for another social race. I think we should have one next week as well. But thank you all very, very much for watching so far. It is Jan Haladesh who takes the win over in Saudi Arabia. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and we will see you very soon for another installment of Online Racing League Racing. Take care and good night.
I'm crazy, Captain.
Yes.
I'm not easy going right there. Looking at him. One more to go.